Well, good morning. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm very excited to be here. I just arrived from Hong Kong to be here this morning, so 5 o'clock. It's really excited. This is my first time being at the DLD conference, and I feel the excitement and a lot of energy here. So today I want to share a little bit of stories behind our company called Royole, and also our ideas and thought for the future of the flexible displays. So if we look back to the history of the information technologies, we could see three major milestones along the way. The first one is the PC in 1970s. That totally changed the way we work, we do our work, right? And then back to 1990s, when the internet became popular, the internet totally changed the way we communicate. And then back to 2007, when you put the computation and communication and also mobility all together, that totally changed the way we live our lives today. That is the smartphone. Everyone has a smartphone today, right? You probably can live without a smartphone today. But then everyone is thinking about the future. What's going to be the future? What's going to be the most important technologies for the future? I think many people have been thinking about this. I'm thinking about that too every day. And there are a lot of technology names around us today, like including blockchain, 5G, AI, autonomous driving, big data, cloud computing, many, many things. I think all of these are very, very important. And then if we look on the top level, we could summarize all of this into three major areas. I would say these three major areas. The first one, it's perception. That is the human-machine interface, including like displays, sensors, biological recognition technologies. It's all the human-machine interface that help people, perceive the world. So that's the first area. The second area is computation. Computation is everywhere now. The software, the algorithm help us, and analyze and decide what to do when the machine receives the information. And now today is broadly defined as artificial intelligence. And number three, it's connection. It's connection, communication. And everyone is talking about Internet of Things. In the future, we want to connect everything around us into a digital platform. But right now, we are not there yet. We're still a long way to go. If you look around your seat, actually there are very, very, very few things connected to the digital platform, except your smartphone, your laptop. How about your clothes? How about your seats? How about like the table? How about everything like around us? Not connected yet. Why? Because there's no great technology to support a connection for those things around us yet, except the smartphone or the computers. Well, the cool thing for the nature is curvature. It's flexibility. I think there are a lot of things around us are not flat, not rigid. They could be curved. They could be flexible. They could be soft. Then how can you connect all of these things together into the digital platform? You need a really revolutionary new human-machine interface to connect them. Because traditional displays, sensors, chips, all rigid. If you want to connect your clothes, soft clothes, to the chips, to the sensors or displays, it's kind of awkward. You can't put a big display or big circuit board on the clothes, right? It's simple. And many things are curved too. So that's why we think flexible electronics, including flexible displays, flexible sensors, are very, very important for the next generation human-machine interface. And eventually, this kind of new human-machine interface can enable the real Internet of everything. So that's why we think flexible electronics is important. So back to 2012, we decided to set up a company called Royole. The mission, it's simple. We wanted to use the technology innovation to improve the way people interact with the world. So I founded a company with two of my friends from Stanford and Tsinghua. And we started working in the lab, and to make the technologies commercially available, but it's a long way. So if we look back to the history in the past few years, we started from nothing. Really just, very, very fundamental technology research, R&D, to prove that technology is really feasible. And that's the first stage. And then along the way, you have to do mass production, industrialization. That's the second stage. And then after the mass production, you have to demonstrate how you can use this kind of technologies for commercial applications, for consumer applications. That's the third stage. We call it from 0 to 1, 1 to n, and n to n plus. That's all we have went through in the past 6 years. So let me share the stories behind the first stage technology innovations. So we started from very fundamental research on the flexible displays. So we have to fabricate, millions of tiny transistor circuits on top of a super thin flexible film. And we have tried numerous materials, process, device design, circuit design to make this happen. And in 2014, we finally successfully demoed this super thin flexible display with a thickness of only like 0.01 millimeter. It's thinner than the hair diameter. And then if you wave your hand, you can see the flexible display, it's flipping around because it's so thin. And you can actually roll it to a very, very small bending radius, just like this. You can actually pull this flexible display out of a slot. With this, I think everyone can imagine a lot of possibilities with these technologies. Okay, this is just the beginning, actually. In 2014, we successfully demoed these technologies. We proved that materials, the process, the device design, it's really available now. But then we have to start from there for mass production. At the same time, we also demoed another technology called flexible sensor. That is actually, we can make numerous micro and nanoscale devices on top of super transparent flexible film. And you can't see anything on top, but because we have the circuit sensors on top, so you can precisely sense what you are doing on the film. And with one is flexible display, one is flexible sensor. We call both together as flexible electronics. With these two technologies, you can really do a lot of things. I will show you later. And on top of the flexible film, you actually have to make over 20 million transistors on top. It's all micro and nanoscale, so you can't see that by eyes directly. So if you check the film on a microscope, you can see it's very, very complicated circuits on top. And there are actually around 100 different nanoscale materials. Along the way, we have accumulated over 2,500 IPs globally. And the key feature for these flexible displays or flexible sensors is thin, it's light, it's flexible, and also for flexible display, it's also very vivid. The color is brilliant. And compared to the traditional LCD, liquid crystal display, that's actually very familiar to all of us, I think. It's a lot thinner, not just a few times. It's orders of magnitude lower in terms of the thickness. And in terms of the weight, it's also a significant reduction. So like including all of the chips around the display and also the circuit board, our flexible display, it's only like 2 grams compared to a few hundred grams or even 1,000 grams, kilograms. So there's orders of magnitude lower. Well, this just shows how dedicated we have been working on these technologies along the way. We accumulated over 2,005 IPs. So every year, we put a lot of engineers, scientists into the research to make this happen. So I want to share how we started doing the mass production after we demoed the technologies in 2014. We started from ground, and we started a campus construction. With the area is about 400,000 square meters for this mass production facility, And we spent $1.7 billion into this facility construction. So we had over 6,000 workers on the ground for over 2.5 years. And eventually, we made this successfully into mass production in 2018. So this is the internal view of the big facility. And there are actually close to 1,000 different equipment inside. So really a lot of work behind. And with this is the production campus located in Shenzhen in China. We just flew this morning from there. So that's the picture we took on the first day we started a mass production of this flexible displays. Now we can actually provide volume of flexible displays from this mass production line for different industrial applications. So if you look at this video here, you can see the flexible display. It's really like we just mentioned, flexible, lightweight, and a vivid color. I actually have a demo here. I want to show you that. So give me a second. Let me to start the system here. So with this, you can imagine many different applications. All right. So, just if you know the founding editor of Kevin Kelly, he's a famous internet person in the industry. He actually predicted a lot of things that later turned to be true. So he mentioned we are actually in the age of screen. We will be the people of screen. Sorry.
My name is Brent.
And the screen, the flexible screen, could be everywhere. It's going to create a totally different environment around us. So check out here. So this is a flexible display as produced from our mass production line. And you can see it's super high resolution, and it's super thin. And you can play any kind of high resolution videos here, right? Videos, pictures, anything just like the traditional high resolution displays, right? Movies, anything you want. But the difference is it's just totally changed the form factor. It's so thin, it's so flexible, right? Thank you. Again, this is not a concept, not a prototype. It's on a mass production from our 400,000 square meters production facility. We're currently using this kind of flexible display for many different innovations across consumer electronics, transportation, sportswear, fashion, robotics, office, education, and smart home applications. So let me give you a few examples of how we can use a flexible display to change the way we design the product. We provide fresh user experience. So one of the most important devices around us is smartphone, right? So if we look back to the history of smartphone, back to 1990s, the feature phone, it was there for a long time. And there was a lot of great companies, including Motorola, Nokia, that have been working on the feature phone for a long time. And the market share is very high, actually. And then back to 2007, when Apple launched the first iPhone, that changed the way we interacted with information because this touch screen, with a touch screen, you can actually touch the software directly using your fingers. So that's actually a new human-machine interface. That's why the smartphone has been so popular in the past 10 years. And along the way, that a lot of great smartphone companies, improving the user experience by reducing the weight, enhance the resolution, or narrowing the border for your smartphone. And now everyone has a smartphone that can do basically everything around us. But there's still a lot of issues on the traditional smartphone that have not been solved yet. For example, if you ask why you have to pay twice to buy a smartphone and a pad and maybe almost a tablet, why? Because you want a portability from the smartphone. You also want a large screen visual experience from the pad or from the tablet. But none of the company can actually put them together. Can you put like a smartphone and a pad or tablet into a single device? and then you get the portability and also the large screen visual experience. No, none of the company can do this yet. And also, it's easy to break your screen when you drop the phone on the ground, right? Because the glass on top of the screen is easy to get broken. But now, today, we actually have something that is totally different. That is called FlexPi. So what is FlexPi? Let me take a look. So the FlexPi is a new device that combines a smartphone and pad or tablet into a single device based on the flexible displays. I have the FlexPi in my pocket right now. So here is the FlexPi. I can use my fingerprint to turn on the device. It looks like a traditional smartphone, but check this out. Let me make the screen a little bit brighter, okay. So you can see this clear. All right, this is just like a traditional smartphone. The cool thing is you can actually open this up and it's a pad. And you can actually fold it back. What is this? It's a smartphone again. Not a single smartphone. Actually, we have dual SIM cards inside. So it's actually two smartphones. And with the two smartphones and one pad together, you can simply put this into the pocket anytime. So this is the world's first commercial foldable smartphone with the flexible displays that combine smartphone and the pad into a single device. And this is already commercially available, and we have launched the device in October in China, in Beijing, and we started sales in November. So a lot of consumers already went to our website, Royole.com, to place the order. And actually, this is also available in other countries, of course, including Germany, for developer model right now. But in China, it's consumer model available. So we'll try to get the consumer model into Germany as soon as possible. All right, with the FlexPi, this is actually a very typical, a very important application of the flexible display for the consumer electronics. Well, inside the FlexPi, there are actually a lot of technologies. The most important technology is the flexible displays and also the flexible sensor on top. That's how you can actually change the user interface. And also, we use very advanced, hardware and software technologies to make the user experience really great. Well, compared to a combination of a traditional smartphone and a tablet, the FlexPi actually offers not only the portability and the large screen visual experience, but also price advantage. So this device is on sale, and it's only cost $1,300 US dollars. So it's actually a lot cheaper than the combination of a traditional pad and a smartphone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know I already ran out of time. I'm not sure if I have additional few minutes. I really want to, share a little bit more of applications with the flexible display, especially in the automobile industry, fashion industry. Just maybe a few more minutes. Is that okay for you? Yeah. Oh, thank you. So let me go very quickly. All right. So with the flexible displays, flexible sensors, you can actually apply that for the transportation application too. I know this museum has a lot of, very historical cars here. It's great. It's wonderful. And I want to show you an example of how you can change the way you design the car with a flexible display. For dashboard, for the info entertainment system, now with a flexible display, you don't have to put like the rigid, bulky, or the flat display around the car. You can actually make like the curved flexible displays with sensors everywhere, on the dashboard, on the back seat, or even on the roof. So this is not a concept. This is already this is the second generation of our dashboard for the vehicles, and also for the flight applications too, for aircraft design. Because this is public news. Most recently we signed a partnership with Airbus for aircraft design. In the future, you could see the flexible display around the cabin, not before long. Trust me. And yeah, I know I really run out of time, so let me probably just stop here. And if you're interested, just go to our website to see the numerous possibilities for the flexible displays. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you.